why John Cena was turned heel, The Rock's secret return, major mistakes WWE made on Raw before WrestleMania 41, The Rock's sad personal update, Gunther praises Logan Paul, update on Brock Lesnar's return, Stephanie McMahon's heartfelt message to Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H on his in-ring return, Triple H on CM Punk walking out on him after his WWE return, Triple H calls Vince McMahon controlling. Let's dive right in. Major mistakes WWE made on Raw before WrestleMania 41. The final Raw before WrestleMania 41, aired April 14th, 2025, was supposed to fire up the crowd for the biggest show of the year. With every feud needing that last push to make Mania feel massive, this episode had to deliver. Instead, it felt like just another Monday night, missing the spark to get folks hyped for Las Vegas. Here are the 5 slip-ups WWE made that left the go-home show flat. Number 1, Karrion Kross crumbles twice. Karrion Kross, not booked for WrestleMania 41, stepped into the ring against AJ Styles and put up a solid scrap, but he ate a phenomenal forearm and lost clean. Then, when Logan Paul strutted out to taunt, Kross tried to swing back, only to get flattened by Styles again. 2 losses in one night? That's rough for a guy who's already stuck in the shadows. Kross can cut killer promos and sell any fight, but his big entrance didn't even make Netflix's cut. Talk about a missed chance to show what he's got. Number 2, Jey Uso's weak mic work. Jey Uso's got fans eating out of his hand, climbing from tag team star to Royal Rumble winner over 15 years, but his feud with Gunther's showing he's not a promo ace like CM Punk or Kevin Owens. His big moment before the World Heavyweight title match at Mania? A snooze. Jey barely spoke for 5 minutes, then dropped a dull line about Gunther being mad and how he'd win. It felt like the whole segment was just a setup for Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and the crowd to chant "Yeet" endlessly, not to make Jey's fight feel epic. Number 3, El Grande Americano's magic mask. The Chad Gable-Rey Mysterio feud's been shaky, but Gable's El Grande Americano gimmick, where he plays a mystery luchador, added a weird, fun twist. The plan seems clear. Rey'll rip off the mask to show it's Gable. But here's the head-scratcher. Gable's got metal in his mask to knock out Rey and Dragon Lee with headbutts. Yet when he dives off the top rope with a flying headbutt, he's fine? Is this metal some kind of superhero shield only El Grande Americano can handle? It's a goofy plot hole that's hard to buy. Number 4, Triple Threat gets lopsided hype. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk are set for a blockbuster triple threat on night 1 at WrestleMania 41, but Raw gave them uneven spotlight. Reigns rolled in late, got a full entrance with double fireworks, and hogged over 10 minutes to talk and strut. Rollins brought some heat with his entrance, and had maybe 5 minutes to fire up the crowd before things got wild. Punk? The guy in his first Mania main event got a measly 2 minutes, sitting by Paul Heyman, then eating a spear and stomps. The tension's there, but WWE didn't make these 3 feel like equals heading into Vegas. Number 5, Raw lacks that big fight feel. Some feuds, like Gunther versus Jey Uso, have heart, but they didn't clash on Raw, just traded separate promos. Jey's been the scrappy underdog, but now he's suddenly cocky after months of looking shaky. Compare that to Daniel Bryan or Kofi Kingston, who were desperate and driven before their Mania wins. If they'd saved Jimmy Uso's brutal beatdown for this show, it'd have hit like a truck. Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair keep facing off, but got stuck with pre-taped promos instead of live action. The Intercontinental title feud with Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor was solid, but even the tag title match felt like an afterthought. The whole night needed more fire to scream, "WrestleMania's coming." Gunther praises Logan Paul. Gunther, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, sees Logan Paul as a valuable part of the WWE lineup. The two couldn't be more different in how they approach wrestling. Gunther lives and breathes the sport, pouring his heart into every match. Logan, on the other hand, rose to fame as a social media star before jumping into WWE, vowing to make wrestling his main focus. Even with their contrasting styles, Gunther had kind words for Logan during a chat with Ariel Helwani. "I have no bad experience with Logan. I think he's a great addition for us. Crazy athlete, and he picked it up very quick. I don't think his aspirations are to be the best wrestler in the world. He's very successful on his own, but he has an obvious passion. He committed to being with us, and it's a great addition. I get there is sentiment from outsiders. When you get offered a private jet and locker room, none of you would turn it down. Let's be honest." Update on Brock Lesnar's return. Talk about Brock Lesnar's return to WWE never seems to stop. Every week, new whispers spark excitement about the Beast incarnate stepping back into the ring. Recently, WWE Hall of Famer JBL weighed in on the buzz during an episode of the Something to Wrestle podcast, giving his take on whether Lesnar might return. "I like anybody. You still like the limelight and the temptation to come back. And it's not just the limelight. There's going to be a figure that comes that has 2 commas in it that they're going to offer him to come back, and I think he'll take it, and I hope he does," said Layfield. JBL thinks Lesnar still craves the spotlight and believes a massive paycheck, possibly over $1 million, could pull him back. Money talks, and for the right price, JBL feels Lesnar would jump at the chance. But as of now, there's no sign of any offer from WWE or a confirmed comeback plan. It's been a long wait for fans. Lesnar hasn't been on WWE TV for 618 days, last appearing at SummerSlam on August 5th, 2023, against Cody Rhodes. After WrestleMania 39, Lesnar and Rhodes clashed 3 times. Rhodes won at Backlash, but Lesnar got revenge at Night of Champions, making Rhodes pass out. Their final showdown at SummerSlam saw Rhodes seal the rivalry with a 2-1 victory. That night was the last time fans saw Lesnar in action. Since then, hope for his return has been clouded by issues, including the ongoing Janelle Grant lawsuit, which seems to have kept him away. A recent claim on social media even suggested Lesnar might have retired, though nothing's confirmed. Still, the WWE Universe keeps searching for any hint that the Beast could roar back into the ring soon. Stephanie McMahon's heartfelt message to Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin just got a warm shout-out from Stephanie McMahon on social media. The Texas Rattlesnake is set to appear on Stephanie's ESPN show Places in an upcoming episode. Austin, one of WWE's all-time greats, changed the game with his epic rivalry against Vince McMahon during the Attitude Era, pushing WWE to new heights. Stephanie, Vince's daughter, joined the chaos and became one of the best villainous women characters ever. In a post on X, Stephanie shared a sneak peek of her show's episode with Austin. She looked back to when she was just 17, working as an intern, and picked him up for a WWE promo shoot for the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. "I remember how nervous I was picking you up, Stone Cold. You barely fit in my car. This time you took me for the ride. Thank you again for everything," Stephanie wrote. Austin shared how they clicked right away, with Stephanie's big laugh easing the tension. Back then, he was still climbing the ranks, and Stephanie stepped into the spotlight a few years later. Fans have been curious if Austin would show up in Las Vegas for WrestleMania 41, since he lives in Reno, just a 4-hour drive away. Bleacher Report says Stone Cold will be at WWE World during WrestleMania weekend for a Fanatics event, signing autographs. For those hoping to see him mix it up in the ring, Austin mentioned on Adrian Hernandez's Unlikely podcast that he's recovering from recent knee surgery but feeling good about his progress. Triple H on his in-ring return. Triple H got a new lease on life after a scary heart issue in the summer of 2021. After that, he decided to step away from wrestling for good. In a gripping episode of the High Performance podcast, the King of Kings opened up about his health and whether he'd ever return to the ring. He dropped a bombshell, saying he's free to do anything, except wrestle, and he's got no interest in lacing up his boots again. "I've said this a bunch. Short of the health scare, because my health is great. My heart is 100% and I'm healthy, and I do everything I want to do, except wrestle, which I don't want to do anymore anyway." He went on to share how the health scare flipped his whole outlook. Triple H now sees life as a precious gift. Even when a show flops, he shrugs it off, knowing he's got his wife and 3 kids waiting at home. He feels he has everything he could ever need, no matter how tough things get. That brush with danger changed him deep down, he said, making him a different person. When news of his heart trouble broke years ago, it shocked everyone. Only later did fans learn he was done wrestling. He would have loved a proper goodbye match, like the one he gave Batista at WrestleMania 35, but life's bigger than any wrestling moment. Triple H has climbed every mountain in WWE, and it's easy to see how this second chance at life shaped his decision to leave the ring behind for good. Triple H on CM Punk walking out on him after his WWE return. Triple H opened up about some tense moments with CM Punk after his big WWE comeback in 2023. He didn't pinpoint exactly when things got heated, but he shared the story of Punk storming out over a creative clash. On the High Performance podcast, Triple H talked about how important it is to work together with wrestlers on storylines. He brought up Punk as an example. Before Punk left WWE in 2014, his relationship with Triple H was rocky, maybe even worse than his issues with Vince McMahon. Since returning, things have mostly been smooth, but Triple H revealed a moment when Punk's old wounds flared up. "We've had a couple of moments since his return. They had told him CM Punk something creatively, and they told me he does not like this. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to him. So I went to him and I was like, what's going on? And he was like, it's good. Whatever. I told him, I know you don't like it. Everybody told me, so let's talk about it. So he complained about what it was, and I said, okay, let's talk about it and come up with something better. I'm not married to that idea. It's just a thought and idea. He was angry, and he walked away from me. And a couple of minutes later, he came back and said, sorry, I have post-traumatic stress disorder from before. I'm not used to this process. I would love to sit down and be creative. It was like a paradigm shift for us relationship-wise. Triple H admitted that years ago, the thought of sitting down with Punk for an hour to hash out ideas would have been a nightmare nightmare. But now, it's a whole different story. He says their relationship has completely turned around, and working with Punk is now one of the best parts of his TV days. It's a funny thing for me to even say. Sitting down and being collaborative with CM Punk is one of my favorite things on TV because he shares a very similar view at the end of the day of the business as I do, so it's fun for me. 10 to 12 years ago, if you told me I had to sit in a room for an hour and collaborate with Punk, I would have been like, oof, rather pull my own teeth out. Now I'm like, oh, he's going to be here tomorrow. Like he's going to sit with us for an hour and do creative? Love it. Phenomenal. Now riffing ideas is the best. You can see this change in how they interact backstage and in videos. Punk's made a huge comeback under Triple H's leadership, and it feels like he's in the perfect spot at the perfect time. Word is, Punk's contract was even tweaked last year to give him better terms, cementing his place as one of WWE's top stars. Triple H calls Vince McMahon controlling. Triple H recently spilled the tea on what it was like working with Vince McMahon before the former WWE boss left for good in January 2024. As WWE's chief content officer, he shared some juicy details about their time together, especially when he was running NXT. On the High Performance podcast, Triple H got real about his relationship with his father-in-law. Sure, they were family because of his marriage to Stephanie McMahon, and Vince was a mentor who helped shape his career. But behind the scenes, things weren't always smooth. Triple H admitted Vince's ways rubbed him the wrong way at times, especially when it came to booking NXT. They didn't always see eye to eye, and Vince's need to call the shots only got stronger as he aged. There were things that bothered me about the way he did things. Certain things of his personality. He would run things totally different than I would, and we've talked about that before. Even when I was running NXT or this, he would be like, why you do it like that? And I'd be like, because it's working for me. And he would be like, well, I don't. He was much more controlling, especially as he got older. Much more controlling, Triple H said. Why John Cena was turned heel. Triple H just dropped a bombshell, admitting he's the mastermind behind John Cena's jaw-dropping heel turn at Elimination Chamber 2025. For the first time, he's opening up about why he flipped the script on Cena. It's been over a month, but the wrestling world's still reeling from Cena going bad, setting the stage for his WrestleMania showdown with Cody Rhodes. On the High Performance podcast, Triple H got real about the decision. He compared Cena's farewell tour to a rock star playing the same old hits at every show. Fun, but predictable. That's why he pushed for something wilder, something no one saw coming. We started to talk about it, and in my mind, John Cena and I spoke about it the other day, and I think it was on his mind too. The safe thing to do is a year-long tour where he goes from town to town, plays his greatest hits, and it's safe and it's easy and it's fun. But as a performer, you're going through the motions, you're playing the same concert you've played a million times, and people love it, but I've seen it. It's nice, safe, easy, and all that stuff. But I went to John and said, what if we pull the lever that no one wanted to pull? What if we turned you heel? For me, it was like, if you never do it, you've just kind of left that dangling there. To me, now we get to write for this guy who has been the ultimate good guy for 20 plus years, and we get to turn him bad. How does that look? Triple H is officially the guy who made Cena's heel turn happen. He explained it was about Cena chasing one last chance to make history, but some details are still fuzzy. Cena's been clashing more with the WWE universe than with Cody Rhodes himself. And then there's the big question mark. What's up with Cena and The Rock? Cena teamed up with The Rock at Elimination Chamber, but on Raw, Cody only scratched the surface of that betrayal. Neither Cena nor Triple H has fully spilled the beans on The Rock's role. Triple H did mention on the podcast that The Rock was all in for being part of such a game-changing moment and wants whatever's best for WWE's future. The Rock's sad personal update. The Rock, a WWE legend, recently shared a moving update on social media as WrestleMania 41 looms. The Brahma Bull hasn't appeared in WWE since teaming up with John Cena at Elimination Chamber 2025. Many thought he'd joined Cena, who's faced Cody Rhodes 3 times on Raw, but The Rock stayed absent. Cena hasn't mentioned him either. While away from the ring, The Rock posted on Instagram about his emotional return to Lahaina, Maui, where people are still rebuilding after the 2023 wildfires. He shared his deep wish to keep the world's attention on the struggling community and lift their spirits. The People's Champion also kept his word, donating $25 million to support Lahaina's recovery. Coming back to Maui was very emotional for all of us. Headlines always cycle out of the news very fast, and people going through hard times can feel forgotten about. One of my jobs is to make sure Lahaina/Maui is never forgotten, and to bring moments of joy, comfort, and smiles as much as I can, he wrote. The struggle and rebuild of Lahaina/Maui continues, but the resilience, strength, and pride of our people and culture remains steadfast and inspiring. This is who we are as Kanaka Maoli, who we are as Polynesians. We protect, We love, we show up. People will always make noise, but in the end, we saw very few come back to make positive things happen. To those that did, we love you and mahalo. Love you back, Maui and Lahaina. Stay strong, and I'll see you soon, he added. On a recent Sports Kita Wrestling's Unscripted, Bill Apter shared a wild rumor about WrestleMania 41. He hinted that John Cena might betray The Rock during his match with Cody Rhodes, flipping back to a fan-favorite role. I have heard in the wind that Cena is going, The Rock is going to make an appearance, and Cena is going to turn against The Rock. That's what I am hearing now, and he is going to go back to being a babyface. This whole thing is a ploy. The Rock's secret return. WrestleMania 41 is just days away, hitting Las Vegas on April 19th and 20th. The wrestling world is on pins and needles, guessing what'll go down in the biggest show of the year. With a loaded lineup, all eyes are on Cody Rhodes defending his undisputed WWE title against John Cena, who flipped to the dark side at Elimination Chamber Toronto, teaming up with The Rock and Travis Scott. But The Rock hasn't shown his face on TV since, leaving everyone wondering if he'll even appear at WrestleMania. There's a solid chance he could, and if he does, here are some wild ways the final boss might shake things up. The Rock and Cody Rhodes go way back with bad blood. Last year, after Cody won the Royal Rumble to challenge Roman Reigns, The Rock tried to steal his thunder. Fans rallied behind Cody, forcing WWE to switch gears. Since then, The Rock's been a thorn in Cody's side, flipping between foe and fake friend. If The Rock crashes WrestleMania, he could wreck Cody's night, helping Cena snag the pin and a record-breaking 17th world title by leaving Cody battered and bruised. Lately, The Rock's been stirring the pot outside the ring too. As a TKO board member, he raised eyebrows by rocking a New Japan Pro Wrestling shirt on social media. New Japan's tied to All Elite Wrestling, WWE's rival, so a team-up seems far-fetched. Still, this could hint that The Rock's got a trick up his sleeve, maybe bringing in New Japan stars to back him, Cena, and Scott at WrestleMania. Names like Jeff Cobb are floating around as possible WWE signings, and Hikuleo's already on the roster. Either one debuting could turn the tide, hammering Cody and paving the way for Cena's victory, cementing them as part of the villain crew. Cena's heel turn was a total shock for two big reasons. First, he hasn't played the bad guy in over 20 years, making the switch a jaw-dropper. Second, with Cena retiring from WWE by December, going heel in his final run was a bold call nobody saw coming, but he probably won't stay a villain till the end. WrestleMania could kick off his return to the good side. If The Rock tries to meddle and help Cena but botches it, costing Cena the match, it could spark a rift. Cena might lose it, setting up a split from The Rock down the road. Then there's Randy Orton, a 14-time world champ and a WWE icon, who still got it after 23 years. He was lined up to face Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, but Owens' injury left Orton without a match. If The Rock sticks his nose in Cody's title fight, Orton could steal the show. The Viper might storm in, take The Rock down with an RKO, and send the crowd into a frenzy. It'd be a massive WrestleMania moment and could set the stage for a dream match between Orton and The Rock someday.